wish that you were here to give me everything I want, but I know that life's
Okay, welcome back to the Coaching Realities podcast. I'm in a completely new setting. I am now moved out of Bangkok. I am in Phuket, or more specifically Patong Beach. Moyo is actually also. Moyo, where are you?
In Barbados.
Yeah, we just had a little call before to catch up, and I was sat with this view. So Moyo's changed his view. I actually think your view is better than mine, except you're probably a lot cooler.
Nice on there.
You're probably in a lot cooler space than I am. Yeah, I've decided to sit out in 32-degree heat. It's not probably not the best idea in the world, but it is what it is. So today what we have planned is we have a couple of questions that Moyo has come up with that he's going to be asking myself. Last episode was based on Moyo and his journey, talking about analysis, his journey into coaching, and also his experiences. Obviously, the Coaching Reality podcast looks to touch on lots of different moments that maybe you don't hear about when you think about the professional game of football or the professional game of coaching as well. So how many questions have we got, Moyo?
Yeah, so basically we've got 9 questions. You pick a number. I'll read out what the question is from those 9 questions, and then you basically answer that question.
Okay. Okay, so just picking a number between 1 and 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go with Fernando Torres as number 9. That's it. El Nino.
So,
El Nino.
Okay, good one. Really to start with, to be fair. So we've got favorite coaching moments. Now, this one is not necessarily your coaching, just in general, like favorite moments from any coaches around the world, really. Could be
Favorite moment from any coach around.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously being a Liverpool fan, I've probably got to say any one of Jurgen Klopp's fist pumps to the Kop. 100% has to be any one of Jurgen Klopp's fist pumps to the Kop, because any time I get it, I honestly get goosebumps. Every time I see it, especially I think the Man United game when the fans were singing we're going to win the league, and he goes to the Kop, he soon is around the board, and he's walking backwards and he turns back and gives it the free. I'm not saying that if I get to that point I'm going to steal it, but I probably would. Something along those lines I would look to do.
Why not?
In terms of my own coaching moments and coaching experiences, I'd probably say probably my best moment was probably in Newcastle when I was working at a club called Westgate Juniors. Those guys gave me a fantastic experience with them, and we were under 14s I think in that season, and we were playing a team from the top division, and we were in the bottom division in the cup. Stupid cup game. We were playing in the semi-final, and we were 3-0 down. No, yeah, 2-0 down. No, 3-0 down at half-time. Oh no, yeah. No, 2-0 down at half-time. 2-0 down at half-time to one of the best teams in Newcastle. And I said to the boys, because everyone had come up to me and said, "Oh, just play like a training game. Don't take it seriously. You know, you're going to get set up for failure." I said to them at half-time, "We're 2-0 down. What do you want to do? Do you want to go for it, or do you want me to have some fun with the team and mess around?" Every one of the lads were like, "Come on, let's give it a go. Let's give it a go." 60 minutes go by, 70 minutes go by, 80 minutes go by, nothing's really happening. They've had chance after chance after chance after chance at the post, at the crossbar, everything. And then, yeah. And then I think it's like 85th minute, I think Rafa gets the ball, goes down the line. Sorry, Rafa, I don't think he'll be watching this, but he gets the ball, goes down the line. Daniel Hardman, you'll be watching this, you'll remember this game. Rafa goes down the line and he cuts the ball back in. And I can't remember, I think it was Dylan. Dylan, our centre-back, came up and scored the goal. We were 2-1, and I'd gone down. I don't know what happened to me. I'd gone down the touchline. Everyone's on the pitch. Everyone's going mental. But all was, go get the ball. We fly up the pitch. Everyone flies up the pitch. They fly back up the other end to counter-attack. They hit the post. Our goalkeeper boots it up. Rafa gets the ball again down the wing. Another cross comes in. It's a handball. And I say
between Watford and whoever they beat, like in the
yeah. And it's a handball when Rafa crossed the ball. And I say this is one of the best moments. It's probably technically one of the worst moments as well, because we got the handball and I was like, "Oh no, it's gonna happen." And Ellie, he might be watching this as well. He's a fantastic player. taller than me, really good centre midfielder. At the time, I don't know where he's at now, but he wasn't one for listening to where I put him. And based off of that reason, I literally was like, I've got to go with the player that I trusted, which was Dylan at the time, and he just scored our first goal. So go on, go take the penalty. And bless him, he spooned the penalty so far wide. It was unbelievable. But when the final whistle went, I had the biggest smile on my face. I felt so gutted, but I had the biggest smile on my face. I was like, that is what you want. That could have happened in front of thousands. It would have been a great game.
I know. Imagine. Sounds
Yeah. That game was amazing. So yeah, Jurgen Klopp's fist bumps, and then almost getting back against the top team in Newcastle.
I'm surprised for Jurgen Klopp you didn't pick the celebration when Alisson scored to get you in the Champions League like at the end of the season.
Which one was that? Alisson's goal.
Yeah, it was the last game of the season when they got you into the Champions League place.
Yeah, I don't really know what Klopp's reaction was to that. I don't know what his reaction.
It's like it was amazing.
I think he saw it and then turned around to his staff and he was like, "This happened." But now,
I'm sure it's one that he ran across the pitch and celebrated with him.
Oh, you're talking about Divock Origi's goal, aren't you?
Right, yeah.
You're talking about Divock Origi's goal when he goes running on the pitch, and you hear Jamie Carragher going, "Look at Jurgen Klopp." Oh, I hate that I've just given a Scouse accent. I hate that. Oh, could it? But yeah, okay. So all right. So we want to do a next question, right?
Yeah. So we've already done number 9. So that next number.
The thing is, there's no chronological order to this, so this is going to go really bad. Number 3.
Number 3. Okay, that's an interesting one. So it's a bit personal now. What's your preferred coaching style or style of coaching?
Preferred coaching styles. You know what it is? You go through university and you go through all your badges, whatever. And I've just spent an hour on hold with the FA trying to get onto my UEFA B. It's not happening at the moment. I spent an hour on hold. I can't even get through it. So if anyone's at UEFA B, pick up the phone, please. But you go through level 1s, level 2s, and then for me, I also went through my degree. And I was having this conversation with a lad from Singapore the other day, one of the coaches out at Asian South, and I was just talking to him about I've had now 6 years experience as a coach. From the age of 16, I was coaching. I'm now 22. My maths is correct on that. 6 years worth of coaching. And you go up and down. When I first started coaching, it was about the exercises you put together and how good the drills were. It didn't really matter how the players actually did. It was just, is the session good and is it fun?
It's about you there.
Yeah. And then after that, as you start developing, you start doing things where you have match play. And you have all these ideas in the world of, I love watching 4-3-3s. I love watching 4-4-2s and stuff like that. In terms of, this is more based on coaching personality, isn't it? So for me, as a coach, I'd probably say I'm definitely a friend of the players. And I remember one of my friends, Robbo, when he came to watch me at Newcastle, his feedback genuinely was, you're an arms around the player coach. And that what he said to me there always stuck with me. It's that I'm an arm around the player coach. If I'm going to go speak to someone, I'm right next to them, I'm right there with you. I'm your mate, I'm your friend. We've had issues with players in the past. You and me have had issues with guys. And I've always gone to the players, just remember, I'm on your side. But you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. I know you're a good lad, but you can't do this. For you to get better, we have to do this, we have to do this, we have to think about this. So I definitely always say I'm a friend of the player before anything. And what any coach has to understand is that you can't do that overnight. It doesn't happen after 1, 2, 3. I'll give the example of Ben over here in Thailand. Of course we mentioned that one. I think we definitely become friends before we became coach and player. And it had to be one or the other. You either have to be coach and player then friends, or friends and coach and player. And it's worked out the best way possible. And it takes time. I stressed about it for the first week, trying to coach your mate and also trying to perform at a high level. It's so difficult. So yeah, I'd definitely say I'm an arms around the player coach. What other answers can I give to that question?
Yeah, actually, well, I'll follow up on that one then, just like quickly. Then, what's your kind of philosophy in terms of how you want to play, and like, what's your kind of
Okay.
this formation kind of thing as well?
All right, so we'll go for 11 aside. I mean, you would admit, I like to press from the front. I'm a massive fan of the Salzburg, the Red Bull franchises, the Salzburgs, the Leipzigs. They all follow Ralph Ragnick's kind of philosophies of doing things quickly. We don't do sideways passes. They all work on vertical passes, playing forward, playing forward, playing forward. If you lose the ball, you have, I think it's 8 seconds to get the ball back. If you win the ball, you have 10 seconds to have a shooting opportunity. That's genuinely how he did it. And you look at the likes of Guardiola, Klopp, these guys idolize that idea, but don't specifically use the whole thing because the whole thing's crazy. You can never get anyone going, okay, being in trouble if you haven't had a shot in 10 seconds. Football's a bit more intricate than that. But for me, I'm always a big fan of unpredictable play. So at the moment, I'm very much stuck in a 4-3-3 phase. For the back, a good holding midfielder, a good box to box, and depending on the games, another box to box or a more attacking midfielder. And I'm a massive.
I thought you were going to say, a more kind of reserved midfielder.
No. I'd definitely say all having two of the same, where you dominate the midfield. The game is won and lost in midfield, in my opinion. You have to dominate that midfield. And if you're playing teams that are better than you, pulling in your wingers as well. Or let's say you've got your striker, bringing them into that midfield. And you look at Leipzig, for example, they set that trap in a diamond. When the ball goes into that midfield, the striker comes back inwards to set that trap. They force teams inside to bring the ball back. So yeah, I'm definitely in that 4-3-3 phase. I like to have players in behind the lines. You can have the left wing or the right wing of the striker up against the back four, plus overlapping fullbacks, plus another one, and you're confident in possession, then you're just overloading the opposition constantly. I'd definitely say in defence, I'm more structured. I'd like to have more of a structure. Is pressing in the right moments. I know you and me have spoken about Rodgers and how he almost sets a line out. They don't need to press the opposition in their own box. Let them play. Yeah. They're so far away from the goal. The moment they get to a certain spot, they press. I like that idea.
We've had a lot of conversation regarding this kind of plays because like you and I kind of not necessarily in opposite ends, but we kind of like going different directions. Because I'm more of like whoever the body can't lose kind of mentality. You're more of like let's get the ball forward and let's kick kind of mentality.
Yeah.
Balance basically between the two things, isn't it? Like,
to be fair, as we worked, I did get slower. In terms of how quick I wanted to do that. Because you saw, especially when I was thinking about doing transitions, when we go left to right, I love a good transition left to right. I think it's beautiful to play left back, centre mid, back to centre back, and then switch. I love that idea, and if you can do it fast enough, you can open teams up, or to almost fake it and go back the other way.
I don't know if you know this, but I take full credit for that, by the
way. Take full credit for that success. I mean that was our DNA. Our DNA was keeping the ball and being patient with it. If you can't go forward, go back. It's not a bad thing. You can't go forward, go back. I think it's only in certain moments. Often, if you win the ball back from the counter press, I wouldn't expect us to go back into a transition. And when I say transition, I don't mean back from defensive attack. I mean as in going from left to right. If it's a counter press and you won the ball back, I want the ball to be going forward. But if it was a typical short goal kick or winning the ball back in your penalty box, but you can play out nicely, take your time. It's fine. The game's won in 90 minutes. It doesn't matter about that 30 seconds, unless the attack is on. Relax, because other teams get unnerved when you have the ball. If you have the ball, they can't score, and they're the ones in the running. But in certain moments, counter press, yes. Off of when you break the lines, I would hate for the ball to go past the centre midfield, the opposition centre midfield line, and then come back. Unless you're a fortunate team where you pin an opposition back. But yeah, I'd definitely say 4-3-3. I like unpredictable play. Left winger go and be a striker if you want to be striker, go play left. Right wing if you want to go left. And I don't want to have to be like, oh, yeah. And I never want to be, oh, left wing is right, swap over. I want that to be a decision made on the pitch. I want it to be game intelligence. You know, let's say they know the opponent they're playing against doesn't like to be cut inside, but I got a left-sided left wing and a right-sided swap over.
Like, let them make the decisions, like giving like a bit more responsibility out of it, because they're at the end of the day, they're the ones who are actually out there doing it. So they probably know better than you on the sidelines, isn't it? So
yeah, for sure. And I like, if we're playing a dominant game of football, I'd like that centre attacking midfielder to be up between those lines as well as a helper. I call Kevin De Bruyne the helper because he's close to the ball all the time. The ball's on the left, he's over there. The ball's on the right, he's over there. I created a diagram where literally I just put a semicircle around the edge of the box. I couldn't pin him down. Every highlight was different. A lot of attacking midfielders, the highlights are the same. His are so different. He's crossing from the left, he's crossing from the right, he's making runs through the middle. So I just put a semicircle. And I like that unpredictable play.
That is so good as well, like literally with everything. And
yeah. Overlapping fullbacks, 100%. As I like inverted and overlaps, again based on game position. Sorry, there's a big motorbike going past. But I like a holding centre, a defensive midfielder that can cover left or right. You know. So yeah, that's it. 4-3-3. Kind of pressing the right moments, solid defensively, and you know, a possession-based side. Of course, everyone wants to possession-based side. But what I would say is 100% unpredictable play in the final third. That's where I'm 100% at. That's solidified in my philosophy.
That's what you like up.
Sorry.
That's what eyes light up.
Yeah, 100%. I can't wait to get back to coach 11-a-side football. Honestly, I can't wait. We'll go 5. Why not 5? 5 is my lucky number.
Okay, 5.
Yes.
Okay, this one could be a very long one or a very short one, depending how it goes.
Well, knowing me.
What's your favorite coaching quote?
What's my favorite? What? Sorry.
Coaching quote.
Oh, coaching quote. Oh, I have this down. Give me interlude. Coaching quote, and I have this down on my phone, hence the little interlude. And it's not technically a coaching quote by a coach; it's by a footballer. Not any footballer, apparently, but I had it on my Instagram. I take it into what I do as a coach, which is success is not coincidental. It's hard work, persistence, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love for what you are doing or learning. And
I suppose that applies to anything, really, isn't it? Like literally anything in life that works.
100%. And I still say a lot of the topics that we talk about, it's not just football coaching. A lot of the conversations we could talk about are based off of coaching in general. And for me, the massive thing is I didn't want to be caught in a job where I was just doing it for the money or just doing it for whatever. Like, I know I've spoken to some of my friends, and it looks like I'm having a massive holiday, and it looks like I'm, out doing whatever, etc. sat on a balcony with a beach behind me, whatever. But I'm putting the work in behind the scenes, and I'm happy to take the flak. People say that I'm not working hard. Anyone who knows me, I can give you the 107-page document I did on Tammany's Rovers. I can give you the 40-page document I've done for Ben. I can give you the 100 and whatever document I've done on my own coaching now as well.
I've worked with you as well, to be fair. And I know like the amount of work that goes into like behind, even like just a simple session as well. I would spend hours just literally like going over something very simple, but like critiquing it, and like is it a better way of doing this, a kind of thing, and like what's the alternative to this, that kind of thing. So yeah, like I can testify to that, to be fair. So
yeah, and like I say, I love what I do. I love my job. I'd never be one of those people that's not ambitious or not passionate about their job. I've worked in a lot of dead-end jobs as part-time. And, I stopped asking people what they wanted to do because they literally were just, I just want to earn my money, or I just need some money or whatever. I don't really know what I want to do, etc. And that's fine. If you don't know what you want to do, that's fine. Even at 22, 23, 24, if you don't know what you want to do right now, fine. But as long as you have an ethos to work towards something, or you have a want to work towards something, then you're my type of person. You know, I love the ambition. Someone who has an ambition for where they want to be. You know, I want to be in front of 70,000 people. Initially, as a kid, I wanted to be the player on the pitch, but I can't be
Yeah, I
that.
think it's been there to be fair. We all want to be
Yeah. Everyone wants to be that, but if you can't be that, what's the next best thing? And that's to be a manager. And you know, it sounds cringy. And I remember when I said this to my old lecturer, Mark. I said to him, you know, he was like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "Oh, I want to be a football manager." It sounds really cringy, I know. And he's like, "Don't cringe about it. That's your dream. That's your dream. Roll with it. See what happens." So from then on, I was just open all the time about it. I want to be a football manager. I want to be a football manager. I'm going to Singapore to learn. I'm in Thailand right now and I'm learning. I was in the UK, I was learning. You know, I can't wait. It's going to be so good. But yeah, I love that saying. I love that saying. If I don't tick all those boxes, if I stop studying, then I probably fail. If I stop being persistent, I probably fail. Whatever. So yeah, that's one I need posted on my wall somewhere. When I eventually land where I'm meant to be living.
They will say,
Yeah. Okay. That was. Yeah, I know you're passionate about this question, so you give me your answer because I know you like that question.
my answer. Okay, mine is quite short and simple to be fair. So, who said it actually? Who said it? Who said it? I forgot who said it. But either way, he said, we've got so many coaches, we need more teachers. Which for
Yeah.
me, it just sums up coaching massively. I think anyone can be a coach. Like anyone can put a session together and make the kids or whoever do the activity. That's fine. Anyone can do that. But I think it's more than that. You've got to teach them to understand why they do those kind of things that they're doing. You've got to kind of be a teacher essentially. There's an example as well. Like actually, when I heard about this quote they gave, they said everybody has a favorite teacher from school. We all have that one teacher during school, whether it was primary school, high school,
Yeah.
or college, or university, whatever it was. You have that one teacher that basically understood you and kind of gave you that kind of light bulb moment, that every time you go to that class, you learn something and you always get those light bulb moments with that teacher. And we need more coaches like that so that
Yeah.
when kids out there, you're teaching them about movement of the ball, whatever it is, right? You need to have them actually learning about something and having those light bulb moments. And for me, that's what really coaching needs to be more about, and that's what I want to get my coaching to be about. And that's fine putting sessions together and doing something that looks good, but if they're not learning anything, then what good is it? So yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
that's my. I think at this moment in time, that's kind of my favorite one, really, because that's kind of where I wanna elevate myself to become more of a teacher than a coach. Which sounds strange because I wanna be a coach, but yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, what we done? 9, 3, and 5,
9,
right?
2, and 5, yeah.
9, 3, and 5. Okay, let's do 1. What was 1?
1. Okay, that's a good one. What's your biggest coaching role model?
Ooh,
Who's your biggest coaching role model?
ooh. I've said Jurgen Klopp already today, so I'm gonna stick away from him. There's 2. There's one that's closer to home, and I'll start with that, and that's definitely Gavin Lee. Now, a lot of people who listen to this probably don't know this guy, and I technically haven't met him yet, but I've had phone calls with him, and I've been able to watch what he's done over the past year or so, and to be able to see, I remember I spoke to him for the first time. When I spoke to him for the first time, he coaches Tampines Rovers in the Singaporean Premier League, by the way, one of the loveliest clubs you'll ever be able to watch. They play in the Tampines Hub in Singapore. It's a beautiful stadium. It's a football pitch in a shopping mall. If you want to research that after, it's beautiful. I can't wait to see it. But I said to him, I watched his team, and I was like, I have a few questions because I can't pinpoint what you're actually doing. It's working, but I have no idea what you're doing. And that's when you know someone's really put the work in the background, because I couldn't figure it out. The more I've watched him now, the more I've figured him out. No offense, but the more I've figured it out. I like it, and for me personally, as a role model, someone that's going to be close to home, someone I'm going to be able to probably go to the game to be able to watch in person. Hopefully, I'll be able to go. I'll be so thankful if I can go to a few training sessions, stuff like that. But his work ethic, things I've heard about how hard this guy works, the studying he does behind the scenes, the constant want to improve, want to develop. Uh, you know, and I apologize that I'm speaking for him here. But you know, I heard that, you know, on the off days that he has, going over to Japan, going over to other countries to go and watch and see what the other coaches are doing.
Mm.
You know, it's something the UK would never think about. They would just go off to Germany to go and see whatever. You know, to go and put that amount of effort.
Actually,
Yeah.
just adding that actually, like recent, I saw it yesterday actually, because right now, obviously, we finished the Premier League season. Marcelo Bielsa, he was pictured coaching the Leeds under 11 sides. So, like,
Yeah.
obviously, all the players are going on their summer breaks. He didn't go on holiday. He's coaching under 11 sides. I thought that's like the best thing ever. Like, I mean, you've got a coach who's like, you know, one of the best coaches around, and he's taking time out just to go coach under 11s for crying out loud. You know, like something like that is just.
You know
I
what
don't
it is
know.
as well.
Like, you know,
These
just, he does that.
People really underestimate the value of pre-season and the season break, which is where we're in now. You know, and it's a time for learning. It's a time to learn. I think you learn more when you relax, as opposed to when you're stressing and thinking all the time. You know, I feel like I've learned more here than I was when I was coaching itself. I feel like I'm learning more, and you can see in these guys. Sorry.
It's nice to kind of switch from a regular environment and just kind of have like your downtime to you kind of look at it from a different perspective. I mean, obviously he's coaching like, you know, world-class players like Leeds, and then obviously to go coach like under 11 just gives him a different perspective. I'm not saying that obviously coaching 11s would make him like, you know, 100 times a better coach than he already is, but I'm sure he, like, you know, he gets something out of that as well. Like, you know, he just kind of switches off for that.
I think it's probably that feeling of giving as well. You know, and when you know, it's even the fact of when me and Ben were training in Patong Football Club, the beautiful little setup they have there, you wouldn't have thought they have an amazing standard 4G. And we had a few young fans of Ben come down, and they were desperate to join in, desperate to join in the session. I just went, all right, come and get involved in the warm-up, come get involved in the warm-up. And just to see the joy of people's faces. I'm not the one giving back. I've got nothing to give you. I haven't given anything to the sport, technically, you know, on a level, you know. But to see these kids come in and, you know, play with someone that they see as their role model. How many people can say they met their role model, you know, and for them to be able to do that is fantastic. But yeah, just to divert back to Gavin, I've got massive respect, you know, for the youngest coaches in Singapore. To do really, really good things. I see how much work he does. It's not the same as the Premier League in England where you have assistant coach, more coaches, lots of other coaches around you, whatever. He does basically everything. He runs the show. I was speaking to one of my friends about it, and to get the insight about him, and to be honest, to get the insight about Singapore in general, the work ethic there, I can already see it. I spoke to a guy called Joseph who he works at Japanese as well, and even him, you know, I don't know if he'll appreciate the shout out or not, but even him, he was to speak to him, I got empowered to like go, okay, I need to get going again. I need to start, you know, putting the graft in, thinking about things. But yeah, from him as a role model for me, I should say the work ethic. Ever since I first saw his clips and stuff, I was like, that work ethic, you can see it already. The game understanding, who his role models were, where he gets his ideas from. For a more well-known role model, I wouldn't even say role model, I'd say someone to aspire to, is Julian Nagelsmann. The guy has gone from Leipzig to Bayern, I believe he's now at Bayern, isn't he? Yeah, because Hansi Flick has gone to Germany at the end of after this Euros. And again, that guy is a young coach. And to see the coaches getting younger is fantastic. And because they're not just players. They're not just players anymore. And again, I won't stick on that rant. They're not just players. So
there's that whole quote that great players don't necessarily make great coaches as well.
Yes.
We're not going to go into that whole debate now.
Yes, and some will become great managers, even though they're big players. But yeah, and for him, it's definitely the stubbornness that sells him, because he's never going to change that style of football. He's going to tweak it. You know, he's going to be at Bayern Munich. You know, they can't be as open as they were in defence at Leipzig. But he's going to tweak it, but they're going to be a force. The amount of power they're going to have in attack, the style of play that, you know, when you're going forward in attack, it's not about I'm a left winger, so I'm going to attack the left hand side. It's about attacking the spaces. And I'm really excited to see where his coaching journey goes and how big he's going to be. Because I mean, he's at Bayern Munich. You can't get any bigger. But you know, these coaches are starting young. You know, it's like Frank Lampard. You know, he's out of Chelsea. They're talking about jobs in the Premier League and stuff. But you know, if you do it young, where are you going to go from there? You know, it's interesting. So yeah, those two guys are definitely my main role models. One from my area, this end in Singapore. I look forward to meeting Gavin eventually and watching his teams and learning from him. So if you're watching this, I'm going to invade your time. But yeah, and obviously Julian Nagelsmann, I thought was just a man to aspire to be. So yeah. Next one, isn't it? Next one.
Next one. So we've got a choice of 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8.
Okay, give me one question that's going to fit into what we've been talking about, and then I'll pick one more random one, and we'll save the other question for another time.
Okay. Well, I suppose 4 works well. How did you get to where you are right now? So I suppose maybe relating to your role model in a way. So yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, I think we saved the rest of the questions for another time. Otherwise, we're going to be here for years.
Okay.
And I like this. I like this concept. This concept is really cool. You know, just random questions. You don't know what questions you're going to get, and it opens topics. You know, it's like being on a date. If you don't have the questions, it's not going to go anywhere. I'm not saying that this is a date, by the way, but but yeah. So how do I get here? Yeah. Same view though, right? Same view. How did I get here? So yeah, when I was younger, I was playing football at a good standard. Went through some of the academy footballs, some of the development squads. Did Rotherham United, Chesterfield Football Club. We were in academies and development stuff. Had the opportunity, played out in the Netherlands when I was younger. Had one of the most amazing times there. That was kind of like the pinnacle already in my football career. I was about 13, 14, playing 2 years up, scoring against good big teams. In the group stages, I was the top goal scorer in the group stage with 2 goals. We won 1-0, won 1-0, drew 0-0, and won 1-0. So yeah, and then I remember celebrating because we weren't expecting to go and get anywhere. We were really not that great club in a big academy league. So yeah, we got through the next knockout stage, and then we lost after that 2-0 to Brøndby, I believe it was. But what an experience that was, you know, wearing all your big Puma tracksuits. It still fits me. It's still sad, but it still fits me. The Puma tracksuit with the Chesterfield logo on. And the thing for me is I was a big size at this age. I had a growth spurt before most people. You know, I was Yorkshire champion, 200 meters, long jump, all that stuff. And then when I got to the age of 15, 16, I got to Barcelona, played out there. And I say to everyone, I made stupid decisions. I made really stupid decisions. I was trying to force something that wasn't there. I could have gone on to scholarship there. That would have been a bad decision anyway. But yeah, I went on trial. I went to one of the thing called Football CV, and I had a trial at Ewood Park, at Blackburn Stadium. What an experience that was to play in a stadium, hear your name in a tannoy. Had a really successful trial. Scored about 2 goals, assisted 5. Amazing. I was buzzing after it. And I got a trial at Leicester City. And I remember my dad was like, keep it quiet. Don't gas yourself up. Keep it quiet. Stay humble. You've got 3 months. And I really wish, and I've said this to him, and it's no fault of theirs, I really wish they'd push me. 3 months. Go work hard. You're 15 years old, I think I won at the time. 15. This is your opportunity. You know, go running. Get on the ball. Do this. Do that. Do this. I went through the motions. I was going on trial at Leicester City. I was the dogs, whatever, you know. And I arrived at the training ground, Leicester City training ground. You go into the locker rooms, and you had at the time there was a season they got promoted to the Premier League, and I got the gold away kit that we had, and I luckily got my number 15, and I had a really good opening session. Lots of good ball work, lots of good touches. I felt really good. The coaches, spoke to a few coaches that liked it. They said they saw the trial, whatever. And then we had the games, and you were meant to be on trial there for a week. You meant to. Everyone was meant to be invited back again. I think I touched the ball twice. Genuinely, I think I touched the ball twice. I just crumbled epically. And I remember one of the coaches came over and said, "Your movement's incredible." I was always told to bend my runs like Rooney. Rooney had that bent run across. I was making these runs, but no one would find it. But I had nothing else in my locker. I was too shit scared to go and get the ball to feet. I was too shit scared to go and get in there. And I just completely crumbled. And I remember crying on the way home. And it all went pear-shaped from there. I had no club at 16. 16, just about to go to college or sixth form. I went on a holiday. I messaged. No, so I was 15 at the time. Went on a holiday. And then I got my opportunity at Harriet Town. And me being me, thought I got that opportunity to play first team. What an idiot. Went to the under-17s, had an okay season, scored in the final, got some good photos, whatever. And after that, again, I crumbled. Injuries, went to college. I fell out of football. I did fall out of love with football, playing it. And at 16, I got into coaching. Harriet Town did their summer camps, moved along, rattled along, finished with top marks at college, distinction star, whatever. Got an award-winning student for enterprise innovation, doing football camps and stuff like that. So it was good, and I got the opportunity to go to university at Northumbria University. Going to try and cut a long story short now. At university, I tell everyone, my grades in first year were 58s. They were fails, they were 40s. They were awful. You know, you speak to someone like Sam, for example, he knew me for that time. I had no idea. Bro, I had no idea how to reference, no idea how to do anything. I only wanted to be in my little bubble. Me, Sam, he looked after me all the way through uni. I owe that guy so much. I'm so bad for remembering names. Megan and Catherine, that was our little bubble because we did a practical together and we did a group project together. Well, from that, I actually got a job at Newcastle Foundation that first year, and so I started being a bit serious about everything. And I was meant to be a teacher. I went to university to be a teacher, to be a head teacher in a primary school or to be a PE teacher in secondary school. And that was my role. So I went through. I got jobs all in coaching, in futsal. We got the opportunity to go and watch Newcastle United Academy coaches. I got my job at Westgate. I asked for the toughest test, and Westgate, one of the most amazing community clubs ever. And when I go back to England, I will go into that club again and say hello. Working in a very tough area. Within like the first couple of weeks, me and the guy called Davey, who was my assistant coach at the time, ended up in a car chase for 20 minutes around Newcastle. It was one of the most scariest things I've ever had in my life, and that was my impression. Sorry?
Were you chasing each other or getting chased?
We were getting chased. Yeah. That's a different story. But we were getting chased. One of the most scariest points. The crime rate was so high. There'd been a shooting outside the place where we were going to go do our presentation. We still did the presentation there at the end of the season. And I learned so much. That rounded me as a coach. No fear, no anything. And I love all the players that I worked with. They were fantastic. And they taught me so much. I hope I taught them something. And then I came to third year to get I was going for my first class honours. And I got my offer to go to Leeds Beckett University to study to be a teacher. And I left it down to the wire. And I said to my family, I'm not going to do this. I don't want to do it. I genuinely don't want to do it. It wasn't me. I found no passion for it. I can do it. I was like, great, I can have the money, whatever, have a pension, whatever. But I want more. I'm a little bit egotistical, a little bit, one man. I wanted to make something myself. So I cancelled it. At the time, I had Forward Vision Football as well. That's a long story with Forward Vision. I'll talk about that with, hopefully, I can get Dan Pinner on. Me and him are going to talk football business. But yeah, I finished university and I tried to apply for every job under the sun. I ended up almost getting a marketing job. I ended up almost going back into teaching. And then we got a lucky break. I got on the phone with an amazing guy who's a long-term family friend who I'd never spoken to in my life. My family didn't really know him. But we got on the phone with him. 2 hours later, he would like put my name to anything. And I obviously said something right, giving him passion. He asked me that one question that I asked you last time, which was, what's your dream? And that was, to be a manager. And he set me up with a call with Gavin. Me and Gavin had this conversation. It was a little bit more difficult to impress him, I would say that, to get in there. But after, he was like, oh, let me put you in contact with Jason South. And, through him, he just put a little bit of belief in me that, you can do this. You can come out, get some experience. Initially, when I got on with the boss and Gavin was on the call again, one of the most surreal moments, because I said to my then girlfriend and my family, there's a possibility. But I'm not gonna get a job. There's no chance. They're not gonna offer me a chance to get something. And I spoke to him. He did more of an interview, and I could tell with Gavin, he was a little bit laughing. I can't lie. I was watching him in the corner of the Zoom call. He was laughing a little bit. And yeah, he was, I did these questions, and then I like his two, people, the guy I spoke to first and Gavin. I don't know where his name dropped the first guy, so I'm not going to. But he couldn't say no to offering me an opportunity. Offered me a 3-month tourism visa opportunity, come over as a tourist, and then to learn from there. So it wasn't even going to be what I have now. And as time's gone on, I just kept sending them document after document. I just switched on. And the thing is, I got that job, and then 30 minutes later, my then girlfriend broke up with me. So it was a very, very weird day for me. I gone from crying happy in my family's arms to then crying sad in my family's arms, and then my friends came down. And so I told them, by the way, my then girlfriend's broken up with me. I'm single. And then I was like, oh, but by the way, I've got a job in Singapore, so I'm moving to Singapore. It was so weird, and that girl told me so much and whatever, and it's so crazy because it's almost been a year now, and I will find when the year is, because from then, from me, and I say there was no like, how to say it, regret. I said there was no regret. I cried. I was crying by the river down in Bullenwharfdale about this girl that broke up with me, whatever. But a year on, I'm sat by a beach in Phuket in Thailand. So up yours. I'm taking this a different way. No. All respect to it. But yeah, like it's no. I hope it does fantastically. But yeah, it's just crazy how things turn out. 2 months ago we were coaching out in the UK and rainy days and whatever. Now I'm here. I got offered the opportunity to stay on at Jason South for a year without even working there. I'm still not working there. So yeah, worked with you guys, the under-12s. They offered me an academy job there as a head coach and manager at that club. I was at Forza Academy before that. I left my job there to join Guiseley because Guiseley were like, JPL, go to JPL, come on. You want to coach in the JPL? Every young coach wants to coach in the JPL.
Everyone wants to coach.
Yeah, Junior Premier League, why not? I learned so much there. And honestly, the biggest key to everything is honestly hard work pays off. The studying, the work. We worked at Amazon, and every day I remembered, I was like, I'm going to be a manager. And when I go home, I'm going to put the graft in. I'm here for a reason. Learning my trade, but you got to go through the rubbish moments. We had some awful times where we worked. I had some awful times living on my own. But yeah, I put the graft in, and then here I am. I'm coaching Ben Davis at the moment, Fulham football player, Thailand under-23 international. So yeah, I'm learning a lot from him, and I'm so grateful for him and his friendship, but also the opportunity to work with him in general. Hopefully, I can teach him something, and he can teach me something.
It's all a learning process every day, though, isn't it? So you gotta keep learning and learning and learning.
Yeah, of course. It's we're students of the game. Like you say, we as coaches, we should be more teachers. But without us being taught in the first place, we can't teach other people. So
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that is my kind of little story, put in short little brackets. I actually really regret what I just kind of did. I do apologize to that person. She was a really lovely person. I can't say a bad word about it. I've done it now, and I do apologize. You'll probably never see this, but yeah. But yeah, that was that. And I think that's the end of the question time for me.
Yeah, I mean, we're taking quite a while to be fair, so I think we'll do the next ones the next few episodes or whatever.
Yeah. I think that's a good game. I think we have to come up with a name for it. we'll call it question and answers or something like that, where we don't know the questions or whatever. Let's just say I guess someone else put the questions together, put numbers on them. And yeah, like I say, I'm excited to get to Singapore. I can't wait to do another call when I'm in Singapore, and I can give you the lowdown on what it's like at JSL. I'm so jealous of all the coaches that are out there working there at the moment. I've just got to watch in the background. Hopefully those guys, they're doing online training at the moment, so all power to them. I wish them the best of luck, because online training is, not it's a tough thing for a coach to do. But on the 14th, hopefully they get back on the pitch. But yeah, I think the Coaching Realities podcast is going to be a 2-man team. So I'm going to find a way to get your photo into my logo, into my thumbnail. But yeah, next time we'll do one where me and Moyo both answer the questions.
I'm going to need a good photo of it.
Get your girlfriend to take you. I've seen all your photography stuff. If you haven't, I'll leave Moyo's link for his photography Instagram down the bottom, like I did last time. And yeah, like I say, me and Moyo will keep in contact. Hopefully we'll get Dan on from Guiseley and talk about setting up your football businesses, because that's an interesting thing that coaches go into a lot. And I think I'm going to wrangle him in for the Euros, so we'll have a bit of a Euros chat as well.
Yeah, I can't wait for the damn episode, to be fair. Actually, I really want to see that on the side, obviously, the football business. Because he's got his own thing going on. I actually coach with him as well. So
Yeah.
I really can't wait for that.
Yeah, so anyway, that's it. Thank you very much, and peace.
Adios. Adios means goodbye, innit?
I haven't stopped recording yet.
I wish that you were here to give me everything I want, but I know that life's unfair and we can't